Hello everyone, I'm Maggie and today we're gonna go over conditionals. Over 35 years of experience teaching students, whenever I say let's go over conditionals, they all roll their eyes, they kind of feel a little demotivated because there is a stigma behind conditionals. No, it is easier than you think, so just bear with me here, okay? Although there are 5 types of conditionals, at least the 3 first ones, I'm sure you have used plenty of times. And remember, learn them in English within the context. Do not translate. Translation is going to mess this thing up immensely, so don't do it. Zero conditional. Now, zero conditional is used for facts and policies. If you don't pay the fee, the request is rejected. It is a cause and consequence. Okay? So it is if plus present and then present again. Present, present. No big deal. First conditional, you use for possibilities. If I have time today, I'll go to the gym. So here you have present and will. Now, second conditional, hypothetical situations. If I had money, I'd buy a new car. If I had money, because I don't, so it's hypothetical. Then you have past and would. So, going back to zero conditional, present, present, first conditional, present, will, second conditional, past, would. Okay? So, what are the 3 examples you're gonna keep in mind so that you remember the rules? Think of a policy, okay? Let's say, what is a fact in a policy? If you don't pay the fee, you can't request a passport. It's a policy. Remember one sentence to keep that in mind. The classic one, if the weather is good, I'll go to the beach. Yes, that's an easy one to remember. And of course, if I had money, I'd buy a new house. Okay, so there you go, 3 conditionals, the easiest ones, zero, first, and second. Now we go to the third conditional. Third conditional is taught to students when they are already intermediate level because it requires them to understand the construction of present perfect and past perfect. But don't worry, it's important for you to just have the understanding of how it is structured. So, third conditional is used for regrets. Okay. If I had paid more attention, I wouldn't have crashed the car. Why is this a regret? Because I already crashed the car. There's nothing I can do about it. So it's an unchangeable past. What do we need here? We need past perfect and then would plus present perfect. So this sounds and seems a little complicated, but if you make a contraction, it makes it easier and you will sound more natural. So if I hadn't, or if I had, and then third column of the verb. Let's try again. If I had paid more attention, or if I'd paid more attention, I wouldn't have crashed the car. Okay? Another one, we can use this for other regrets. If I had accepted that job, if I'd accepted that job, I would have had money to pay for the trip. So that's the third conditional. The mixed conditional, which is the fifth type, is called mixed conditional. Mixed conditional is when you have a situation in the past that you cannot change, unchangeable past, plus a consequence in the present. Okay? If I hadn't spent money with that shirt, I would have money now to buy that pair of shoes. Conditionals follow a logic, a grammar logic. So from zero to mixed, the verb tenses are going to go one verb tense behind in the timeline. So from present, 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 future, to past would, because would is the past of will, right? So we have past would, then past perfect, which is the verb tense before the simple past, plus would and present perfect. And here, why do we use would plus present perfect? It's not actually present perfect, but it's easy for you to remember that way. Because would is a modal verb and it requires infinitive. If you want to go one verb tense before, you can't say would went. It doesn't work that way. So how would you make a difference between would go and would and go in the past? Since you can't use simple past, you use this marvelous trick, which is using have. And the third column of go, which I would have gone. So that makes it one verb tense before. And the mixed conditional, which is actually the mix, the hybrid form between the second conditional and the third conditional. Okay? That's it. That's it. Now, do you really need to know all the conditionals? Well, it's going to depend on your level. Of course, if you are intermediate level, in other words, B2 level, you are expected to at least know how to use the third conditional. And when you are a C1, yeah, it is expected that you know how to use conditionals easily without having to think too much. For corporate, there are many uses. If the employee misses work, the company doesn't pay for that day. So it is a policy. If you forget your badge, you can't get into the company, into the office. So it is a policy, present, present. Rules, zero conditionals. Now, first conditionals, this is something you use a lot, especially for when you have to say no to a request. No, that's a very nice one. There is even a video there in my playlist you could check, you see, about corporate etiquette, and I talk about that. So how do you say no politely? Use a conditional, the first conditional. If you wait until tomorrow, I'll be happy to read your report. That's saying no now and providing an alternative. So that's first conditional. Second conditional, it is hypothetical, right? If we had more people, we would deliver faster. So you see, when you are talking about your brainstorming, when you brainstorm, the second conditional is great. Okay. Now, third conditional. I particularly don't like to think too much about my past and start regretting because, but for everyone who works in corporate and for our lives really, it is important to have a look at the past so that we don't repeat our mistakes, and companies do that all the time. It is the famous best practices. Best practices come from mistakes. So if we had more stock, we wouldn't have lost market share. Very important for you to build the best practices. okay? Now, mixed conditional, the same. So it is a very useful part of grammar in English, and you need it. And once you tackle it, once you understand it, you see it's not that hard. Okay, trust me. Now it's your turn. Shall we try a quiz? If you think the third conditional and the mixed conditionals are too hard, that might be because of your level of English. Don't worry. If you are a pre-intermediate or intermediate level, this is really something daunting. You'll get there. But you can incorporate into your vocabulary and structure 0, first, and second, which is a lot. So please, don't give up. Keep at it, and I'm sure you will eventually master all the conditionals. Okay? Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please click that button. Leave the comments. We are always trying to improve our videos. And subscribe if you like the content. Thank you very much. See you next time.